this video, we're going to be learning about the gastrointestinal tract. This is the pathway through which digestion takes place. Food is swallowed, broken down, absorbed, and remaining contents is excreted as feces. Food is introduced into the GI tract through the buccal cavity, more commonly known as the mouth. Here, food is chewed and mixed with saliva produced by the salivary glands. This lubricates the food and also contains alpha amylase enzymes that begin the chemical breakdown of starch. This, along with the mechanical breakdown through mastication, forms the bolus, which is ready to be swallowed. Next, the bolus travels down the esophagus, a 20 centimeter fibromuscular tube leading to the stomach. Along with the aid of gravity, the bolus moves along the tube by primary peristalsis, a wave of muscle contraction. Circular and longitudinal muscles contract separately to make a squeezing motion. Secondary peristalsis then pulls down any remaining food into the stomach. Any backflow from the stomach is prevented by the esophageal sphincter muscles. The bolus then enters the stomach. This is a J-shaped, bag-like, dilated section of the GI tract which can hold up to 1.5 litres of food. It is made up of 4 different sections: the cardia, shown in orange, the fundus, shown in blue, the body, shown in yellow, and the pylorus, shown in green. The main body has lots of rugae, which are folds in the wall which increase surface area and help to churn the food. The walls of the stomach also release proteases which begin to break down protein and hydrochloric acid, which destroys any bacteria. Waves of peristalsis churn the food, and the contractions become stronger towards the pylorus, where the food, which is now known as chyme, leaves via the pyloric sphincter and then enters the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. The duodenum is a C-shaped structure where the proper enzymatic breakdown of chyme begins. It has 4 distinct sections: superior, descending, inferior, and ascending. The descending portion is where bile and pancreatic secretions enter from the ampulla of Vater. The duodenum also regulates how quickly the chyme leaves the stomach with hormones called secretin and cholecystokinin. It does this by preventing the pyloric area of the stomach from contracting and by closing the pyloric sphincter. There are 2 other sections of the small intestine. First the jejunum, and then the ileum. The jejunum is where most absorption takes place. The inner surface consists of villi, finger-like projections that increase surface area for nutrient absorption. Nutrient transport across epithelial cells is passive for sugar fructose, but active for amino acids, small peptides, vitamins, and most glucose. Although there is no definitive border between the jejunum and the ileum is the next and final part of the small intestine. The diameter of the lumen is smaller and it has thinner walls than the jejunum. It also contains abundant Peyer's patches, which are encapsulated lymphoid nodules that contain large numbers of the cells of the immune system. It absorbs vitamin B12, bile salts, and any other products of digestion that haven't already been absorbed by the jejunum. Now let's focus on the large intestine. The cecum is a pouch-like structure that is the beginning of the large intestine. Chyme enters via the ileocecal valve. The large intestine has 4 other sections: the ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and the sigmoid colon. Each section is continuous and has teniae coli, 3 bands of longitudinal muscle. It also has haustrations which give the large intestine a segmented appearance and can help to compress the chyme when the walls contract. Unlike the small intestine, it contains no villi. It contains a high concentration of goblet cells for mucus secretion, which therefore keeps the chyme well lubricated. The main role is to remove water, salts, sugars and vitamins as the chyme moves slowly through the lumen. The chyme then enters the rectum. Here in the rectum, chyme is stored temporarily as feces. Stretching of the rectal walls stimulates stretch receptors and causes the desire to defecate. The feces then exits the body via the anus and the process of digestion is complete. So that was a brief overview of the GI tract. Here are some key points to remember. Digestion begins in the mouth with the mechanical and chemical breakdown of starch. Food travels to the stomach via the esophagus. The stomach continues the process of digestion and also begins the breakdown of proteins into amino acids. The small intestine is where nutrients are absorbed. And the large intestine is where mainly water and salts are absorbed. The contents that are not digested are stored in the rectum until they are excreted through the anus as feces. Thank you for watching.